show is about to begin.
Hey everyone, thanks so much for joining me on the live show tonight. It's going to be a good show, and I'm going to bring in our good friend Dan from Return of the Disc. He's back on the show. What's going on here?
Why it's is there showtime, folks.
Hold on a second. There we go. That's better. All right, I'm going to bring him in a little bit closer. So thanks, Dan, for coming on the show. We haven't had you on. I think last time you were on my channel was when we did the Martin Scorsese.
We talked ranking. Martin Scorsese. It was back in October, right? Or so.
Yeah, October. So it's been a while.
Thanks for having me back on.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've been busy working on your short film and doing some other stuff. And I've been busy sitting here watching movies. Anyways,
what's wrong with that?
So today, guys, we are going to talk about a couple different things. How the show's going to work is first going to kind of talk about some new releases that we're excited about. Show off a couple new arrivals that we have, and then we're going to dive into why Disney is ditching physical media and Sony picked it up. What's with the merger? And I have a little bit of insider information. A friend of mine who's a film producer, he was actually involved a little bit in the merger, and I was talking to him last night, and he didn't go in depth about what all happened. He just gave me a little bit of insider information that I can share. So I'm gonna get into that a little bit. But let me know, guys. First, let me know in the chat if you guys can hear me okay, because I know last time I did a live show, my volume was too low. So if you guys are having a problem hearing me with my volume, let me know in the comments. I'm sure you will. But yeah, let's get started. First off, some big news. News that I personally has been waiting a long time for, and we finally have it on 4K UHD, and that is with The Crow. On 4K UHD, finally coming in. I mean, this Blu-ray the Blu-ray was sourced from an old master from like the DVD days, and so it's been a long time coming. It desperately needs a new transfer. I watched it a couple months ago, and it's not a good Blu-ray.
No, it's not the best. And I'm excited about replacing the Blu-ray myself. Do you know if like the special effects are also upgraded?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. I don't even know much about the restoration. I'm sure they restored it from the original negative, but I don't think they went in and, updated the stuff, which sometimes people complain about because with the high resolution, you can see the green screen work and the wire work and all that stuff more noticeably now with high resolution. But you just got to keep that in mind. It was made almost 35 years ago,
at least.
And if you guys don't know, I did an interview with the director, Alex Proyas. It's about an hour and 20-minute interview. It was a great interview. We talked about The Crow, and then we talked a lot about Dark City, where he actually kind of revealed things that he said he's never told anyone before about the making of Dark City, which was really cool. So you guys can check that out in my filmmaker interview link if you want to. But what's cool is that Paramount is releasing this, and they also are releasing a steelbook. This is a Walmart exclusive. Hang on a second. I still got guys.
That one looks a little different than the Amazon one.
Yeah. One thing here, guys. I just getting over bronchitis, so if I start coughing, that's why. And if my screen goes blank, it's because I'm hacking up a lung. So it's already starting. So anyways, just to let you guys know that. So this is the Walmart exclusive steelbook. And then this is the standard steelbook. I don't know which
That's
which one
tough.
Yeah, I think it's cool to have the close-up of the face and then how it blends in with the crow.
And I like the crow on fire too on the Walmart one.
Yeah, it's cool on the back. But I also like this. And I don't know, guys. Let me know in the comments section. Which ones do you guys like better, the Walmart exclusive or the Paramount version that you can buy widely. I don't know.
I saw in the description too. There's some special features that haven't been on disc yet, so I'm
Oh,
excited
really?
about those too.
Okay, that'd be cool. Are they new or just hasn't
No, I
been?
think they're just like archival.
Okay, yeah, because I know that they released like a big double disc collector's edition on DVD, like years and years ago. So
Yeah,
that must
so
be
it's
what they're
probably
doing.
that.
I went ahead and before I saw the Walmart exclusive, I went ahead and ordered that already. And I don't double dip on this stuff. I'm just going to buy one.
Yeah,
I don't see a sense on buying two of the same thing. Um, so I don't know. I'm trying to make up my mind if I want to cancel that and get the Walmart
they
one.
both look great.
Yeah, they both look great. But let me know,
Have you
guys.
had any problems with Walmart shipping yet?
I haven't. I know
Okay,
you
I
did.
kind of went into it on my channel about the whole fiasco with past lives and it getting
Yeah,
lost in transit, and then you saving the day by having Amazon Prime. But yeah,
yeah.
Walmart has kind of a bad first impression for me as far as shipping. But
I ordered a couple things from them, and
yeah,
um, like I ordered Footloose, and it came actually a week early.
okay, cool.
So I actually haven't had a problem with them yet, but I'm sure I will. Uh, but let me know, guys, in the comment section, which version of the Crow Steelbook are you looking forward to? Walmart or the Standard? I'm curious of your opinion. Um, Next up, one that I was really excited for, and one that I don't know if you've heard of it, right? Narc.
Oh yeah,
But you've never seen it.
I know
Uh,
about it. I know a lot about it. I know who's in it, and I just never got around to watching it for some reason.
yeah. Yeah, what's interesting, I mean, it wasn't originally produced by Tom Cruise, but he saw it at, I think, an independent festival, and he loved it. So he came on as a producer and kind of got the motions going to sell it. But Arrow Video announced my mouse is kind of acting up. Arrow Video announced it, and first of all, I love this artwork. I think it's really cool artwork with a comic book noir style type, gritty graffiti type artwork for the
Yeah.
cover. I think it's pretty cool. Um,
Would
and
you say
then,
it is like a crime noir then?
oh yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and I love this. I mean, you got the poster like always with Arrow Video booklet and the disc. Now the disc isn't 4K or Blu-ray; it's a 4K with Blu-ray special features. They're starting to sell Blu-rays separately from the
Oh,
4Ks. So if you guys don't have 4K player, you're gonna have to buy the Blu-ray separately. Hang on a second, I got a cough.
all right. Let it out. But yeah, that steelbook looks nice. I'll have to see Narc. Now I have a reason to. So, I mean, yeah, Ray Liotta can't go wrong.
Yeah, Jason Patrick, Ray Liotta, Busta Rhymes. Um, Let me see
Busta
here.
Rhymes, man. He had like an era there with Halloween Resurrections and I guess Narc too in that same kind of era of the early 2000s.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, Tim, what's going on? Thanks for joining us. I have worked with a few narcs. It is not fun. Great, you're gonna make me laugh. Excuse
Don't
me.
kill the host, Tim.
Yeah, don't kill me. I'm just getting over bronchitis. Uh, that's pretty funny. Um, and the next bit of news I was excited about and is Once Upon a Time in the West. Beautiful film. I know it's not everyone's favorite because it is a slower paced movie, but Sergio Leone, I mean, you really can't go wrong with him. And I knew this was coming. This was announced like almost 2 years ago, I remember, and so I've been holding out for this for a long time, and finally we get the 4K UHD. I'm not sure if the Blu-ray's remastered, probably not because it's Paramount, but I do love these Paramount Presents fold-out slipcovers. The only issue I have with them is that they're expensive, man.
Yep.
They're like they're like 35
$35. Yeah.
yeah, $40, and the price doesn't go down. I've never seen the price go down, which really sucks. Um, so I don't know. I don't know if they're thinking, well, if we have the price up more, it seems more special. I don't know what the deal is.
Yeah, even with
It's
like Best Buy leaving physical media, I tried to get them to see if they go down at all from Nutty Professor and Terms of Endearment, if they would go down on
yeah.
price at all, and they haven't gone down yet.
Yeah,
They're still
yeah,
like
which is weird
34.99.
because you would think that if they're trying to get rid of their stockpile, they would go down. Uh, I mean, that they buy movies pennies on a dollar. I mean,
Oh yeah,
I've worked with some people. I mean, they'll buy a 4K for like $2, and then they sell it for 35. We're being raped, but I guess we like being raped with physical media. So, but yeah, guys, leave your comments in the comment section and let me know all your thoughts, what you're looking forward to, any new announcements that I missed that you're looking forward to, and we'll go back and kind of scroll through the comments and read them off and any questions you have for us as well. Timmy's back. You need to set up payment plans to buy some 4K and steelbooks. Absolutely,
that's the
and
truth.
it's funny too because there's places that do that. Like I know Vinegar Syndrome and Orbit DVD. They'll have like a 4 payment plan, so you can take like 4 weeks to pay it. So yeah, it's true. But yeah,
I've done it. I've done
you?
it.
I've never done that. Yeah, I know one person, the Anxious Hobbit. I was talking to her, and she was saying, yeah, that she'll do like a split payment plan where she'll pay half now and then on payday just pay it off. And
Exactly.
and that seems the best way to go, especially if you're buying a bunch, like a whole. By the way, guys, if you're not following Anxious Hobbit, go follow her on her TikTok. She's awesome. And she's going to be on the show next week.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun show. Also, can't forget this. And hold on a second, I forgot. Let me pull up the picture here. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Man, my mouse is acting out for some reason.
I don't like it either, Tim, but it's the world we live in.
I sure don't like that. Yeah, it is what it is. But we still buy it, don't we?
Sure do.
So Sunday, I'm having this guy on, Eric Wilkinson. We've gotten to know each other. I can say we're friends. He's head of MVD Entertainment Accusations. He's an indie film producer. I did an interview with him a year or so ago, and we've been talking a lot lately. And I'm invited on the show, and so he's going to be on the show Sunday evening at 7. And we're going to be talking a little bit more about his viewpoint on the Disney-Sony merger, what he has to say about it, as that he works in the home media field. And
Right.
We're going to get into some other stuff too. So that's going to be a good show. So guys, definitely keep an eye out for that. Sunday evening at 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 Eastern.
And you put out a video on joysticks too, so people are aware that there's been an error with joysticks and there's a replacement plan. So that's nice.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, guys, if you ordered joysticks and you haven't gotten it yet, or you got yours early when you shouldn't have, check out my update video I put about a replacement program. Timmy says, "Keep on keeping on, brother." Absolutely. Come on, guys. Come on, everyone. Timmy can't be the only one leaving comments here. Come on, show their wealth, or whatever it is. All right, so let's dive into some of the pickups we got. I know you got some. Let's go ahead and show yours off first.
Okay, these aren't exactly like brand new this week or anything, but they're new to me. And one is a classic Stallone movie that's kind of gone under the radar over the years. Cliffhanger. I finally got the 4K Steelbook, and
Nice.
this one, I think it came out on 4K before, but this is the Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos version.
Yeah.
So it's got the new color grading. So I'm really excited to check this out. Haven't even opened it up. But speaking of Walmart, it came through Walmart, and they actually like packaged it in a box and bubble wrap around it. So it was really taken care of. My next one, we talked about it earlier. Past Lives. Really got into this film and watched it with the commentary last night. I'm going to do a review of this Blu-ray on my channel. So if you're a subscriber at Return of the Disc, be sure to watch out for that one. But it's a great movie. Out for Best Picture this year.
So tell
And
us,
then a couple weeks ago, I got.
tell the folks out there who haven't seen or know anything about Past Lives, without getting too much into it, so you can keep your review
Oh, okay.
on
So
your channel.
basically, these childhood friends are separated, and then they reconnect 12 years later. Then they reconnect again in person 12 years after that, and you just kind of see their growth through this 90-minute film. It has sort of the vibes of like a Richard Linklater film, like the Before trilogy, where you're
Okay.
following two people, dialogue heavy. Really appreciate the visuals on this one. I mean, there's a point where they go to the Statue of Liberty, and I was like, wow, the Statue of Liberty. Like, I haven't seen it from that angle because she took it. She filmed it from the boat, so the boat kind of rocks, and you kind of it's like you're on the boat looking at the Statue of Liberty.
That's cool.
And I just thought it was fantastic, and it was actually shot on film, and I could really tell from the Blu-ray, the video quality, that it was. You could see the film grain because I originally watched on Paramount Plus, and I couldn't tell it was shot on film, but on the Blu-ray I could really tell it really popped.
Yeah, I've noticed that with some streaming, especially on Amazon, where they will like smooth it out for streaming for some reason.
Yeah.
The picture, I don't know why. Hang on a second. Ken here says, unless Disney is letting pick and choose from the Fox catalog or Touchstone, can't get too excited. I believe the article only mentioned Actually, there's some information on that that's been inaccurate from other sources that we're going to get into very, very soon. And we're going to discuss that about the Fox titles and Touchstone. So just let's hang on for that for a few more minutes. And yeah, because I'm excited to get into it too. All right. Yeah. So you highly recommend Past Lives.
I do really enjoy it. Yeah, that's all I'll say about it. It actually surprised me. I was not going in with any expectations. Actually, I've been known to turn some movies off it's one of the better new movies that I've seen.
Cool. All right.
Next one was Little Darlings from Cinemagraph, which is a new partner label of Vinegar Syndrome. This release is like very academic. It has a bookmark, and it's an actual book. Little
Nice.
Darlings printed on it. Has 2 discs. This is a 4K and a Blu-ray. Both have the feature film on it and special features. And yeah, so it's an actual book with like essays and great photography. Well, there, it's just some nice stills from the movie. And if you guys are familiar with Little Darlings at all, it was hard to find and didn't really have a Blu-ray. I don't know if it had a DVD at all, or it was just kind of a lost film there, but really popular from the early 80s. The 2 leads trying to get laid. It was just an early sex comedy from the female perspective. And I had a good time with it.
Nice. Of course, kids trying to get laid, you always have a good time with, right?
Exactly.
Hey, man, I miss those 80s movies, those 80s teen sex rom-coms. I mean, sex comedies. I mean, like I told you last night.
The restoration looks fantastic too.
Oh, awesome! Yeah, like last night I was telling you I was watching Ridgemont High, and man,
Oh yeah,
it's such a classic movie. I miss those movies, man. I miss them.
that's so good.
But they can never get made today.
And the last one I got is also Cinemagraph, Red Rock Rest, also a 90s crime noir. Again, an academic release here. Really enjoyed the packaging and what they're doing here on this label, so I'm excited for their March title.
Nice.
This is only a Blu-ray, but it's a 4K restoration from Interpositive. But it's a Blu-ray disc. But it looks great. I know you picked this one up too.
Yeah, I did.
I hadn't seen it before, and I loved it.
Yeah, it's great. I love those independent Western neo-noir type movies. They're great. Nicolas Cage is great in it too. 90s Nicolas Cage. You can't go wrong. Is that it? Or do you have one?
That's it, man.
All right. Hang on, guys. I'm going to be coughing in a second.
Short and sweet.
All right, guys. So we're going to get into Disney with Mickey Mouse. So we're going to be talking now about the Disney Sony merger, physical media merger. And then afterwards, I'm going to kind of get into just show off a one physical media pickup that I picked up, but I wanted to get into this real quick here. My good friend Bill Hunt at the Digital Bits, he broke the news, and I remember him telling me a couple weeks ago that he's been working on some really deep insider news that he's been waiting to confirm. And one thing about the Digital Bits that a lot of other outlets don't do is he holds off to actually confirm from the sources themselves that the news that's breaking is actually confirmed. It's correct. He doesn't post anything unless it's been confirmed, which is more than I can say for a lot of other outlets.
Yeah. He doesn't jump the gun. He does his research, checks his sources more than once, and yeah, he's been around for years, right? He's had Digital Bits.
I mean, he was a filmmaker first, and then in the mid 90s, early 2000s, he got into physical media and started the Digital Bits. I mean, yeah, he knows his stuff 100%. Yeah. And he's the most reliable that I have found for 4K reviews as well. So guys, if you're not following the Digital Bits, definitely go follow them. They're on what is it, X, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, or they have their website, the Digital Bits. But they broke the news, and I think, yeah, this is it. Breaking news update. We have new information from our sources on the Disney-Sony media deal. Regarding the Disney-Sony physical media news that we broke this morning on the Digital Bits, we've learned the following additional information from our industry sources. Once again, we've confirmed that Disney is indeed in the process of transitioning to a licensed physical media distribution model via an agreement with Sony Entertainment. As part of this deal, Sony will market, sell, and distribute new Disney releases, plus catalog titles on physical media to consumers through retailers and distributors in the US and Canada. The shift is consistent with other strategies that Disney is working to implement company-wide, as exemplified by the company's recent transitions in other markets. Per usual, Disney regularly evaluates their approach on physical media market as the home entertainment business industry at large. And it goes on from there. So guys, definitely go and check out that whole article because there's a lot more to it than that. Now, as I said at the top of this video, I have a producer friend that I talked to last night. His name is John Thompson. And he kind of gave me a little bit of information because he was actually part of this merger. He kind of helped. He had meetings with Bob Iger and other things like that. And he actually told me that this started about two and a half years ago, this whole merger thing. When Bob Iger came back as CEO, I remember Bob Iger making an announcement that they're going to focus more on physical media. And so that's what they're doing. Now, what he said is the whole reason why they're moving from Disney to Sony is because lack of good employees is what it comes down to. When Bob Chapek came in, he fired a lot of the home media division, and his focus was 100% set on streaming. And so he didn't believe in physical media. Now, this is coming from me, not from my producer friend. This is stuff that I know from other sources. And so he was just deleting home media. Bob Iger came in, and he still knows home media is still valuable. The problem is that the employees that they have in there now have no idea what they're doing. They're young executives. They don't know the business. They don't know anything about how to restore film. They don't know anything about preserving and cultivating film. And so that's the main reason why they're doing this. And that's why a lot of releases in 4K, like Pirates of the Caribbean, were crap and looked awful, was because they just didn't know what they were doing. So that's one reason.
Now, were there big layoffs?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. In fact,
okay.
John told me, he said, he put in quotes, fire them all. So
yeah, then you'd have nobody that knows what they're doing after that. So
that's what you do. And so that, that was the number one issue. Number two is Disney knows they were losing money in the home media department. I mean, when the pandemic hit, home media started to rise, and look at where it is now. I mean, we've never had so many releases, and especially with all these boutique companies. So Disney was kind of hemorrhaging money, and so they did this deal with Sony. Now, Sony, if you know anything about Sony, and you've been a fan of physical media, home media for even since the 70s, you know that Sony deeply cares about home media, physical media. I mean, they're the ones that kind of started the beta and VHS, and they have led the way, the path.
PlayStation 3 with Blu-ray.
Right. And so they really care about physical media, and and one of the main reasons why they care about physical media is because they are an electronics company. So they're making the products and they're making the systems in order to do this, right? And so, what are you going to do? Not use it? So they're showing consumers what they can do with their electronic and their, scanners and all that stuff. And so this is a great deal. This is awesome. I was excited right when I heard about it. Sony knows what they're doing. They are as a major studio, they are leading the way right now. I don't know any 4K or Blu-ray that they've come out with that wasn't good. It's top tier top tier shelf grade A all the way. And if you want proof, just take a look at their Columbia Classic sets. I mean, they're pristine. They're just fantastic. And they don't do DNR scrubbing. They don't smooth out the image. They leave it as is. They just restore it back to its original theatrical appearance. And so what this is doing, I mean, studios make more money licensing out their catalog than they do just releasing it themselves or releasing it on streaming. You make way more money, which is one reason why A24 and Lionsgate and Sony don't have their own streaming service, because they know they're making more money licensing out. So that's another thing, is Disney is going to be making bank licensing out these titles to to Sony.
Now I wonder, is it include like FX shows
that I don't know
on
about.
Hulu, like The Bear?
I don't.
Because I'd love to have like The Bear on Blu-ray.
I think it's just pertaining to films
and like Disney Plus stuff. Yeah, I know they released Mandalorian season 1 and 2 and WandaVision, and
they're probably going to cherry pick what they want.
Yeah.
But I wanted to go back to Ken's comment here, where he says, unless Disney is letting pick and choose from Fox catalog or Touchstone, can't get too excited. I believe the article only mentioned distributing and not licensing. That's actually inaccurate. As we just read from the Digital Bits article, it's licensing. So they're going to be licensing. Disney is licensing out their entire catalog to Sony, and Sony's going to master it, restore it, do everything that you do when you master and restore a movie, and then release it. Of course, they're going to be sharing, the profits. But let me see here if this is it. I wanted to bring this out here because this is something that I'm seeing a lot of outlets talk about. Even Variety I saw talk about, where they only show half the article. Only half of it. They don't go into the rest of it.
Yeah.
All they show is on the Digital Bits where it says that Disney is sitting on a bunch of remastered Fox titles, and they're not doing anything with it. That's all they said. But down further, Bill brings out this is at a time when many other studios are not only digging deep into their film libraries for Blu-ray and 4K releases, they're also licensing many very deep catalog titles to boutique labels like Shout, Arrow, Kino, indicator powerhouse, and more. An agreement that is generating good profits for those other studios, even as production costs increase and vendor and retailer options shrink. Now, I do not see. I mean, that's definitely happening. We can see that with Paramount, with
Oh yeah.
they're licensing out a lot of their deep catalog to like Kino Lorber and Shot Factory and even Vinegar Syndrome.
Yeah, the Little Darlings is Paramount.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And Vinegar Syndrome's announcing their new Paramount release on March 1st. Now I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a great deal too.
Yeah, and so here's the thing. You really think Sony is going to agree to take on Disney's catalog without these rich classic Fox titles? There's no way. They're going to allow them to dive into that. They would be losing a ton of money because they own this property. They own these Fox properties, and they're not doing anything with them. They're hemorrhaging money doing that. They're not gonna keep doing that. It doesn't make any sense. They are, yeah. I mean, I don't think it's going to happen right away, and we're probably not going to see releases
I did
right
hear
away.
that the newest Omen film is like the first one they're going to do out of the theater with that deal.
Okay, so the original Omen, right?
No, the sequel one, or whether it's coming out in theaters this year.
Oh,
that's going to be one of the first ones they're going to put out in together.
So. Oh, okay. Yeah, so I do not. I cannot imagine Sony not allowing Disney to have them access to their Fox catalog. There's too many classic films from Fox that are just beloved, and it doesn't make any financial sense not to allow Sony to not to license the Fox titles to Sony and distribute them and remaster them. It doesn't make any sense financially.
Right.
Why would they do that? I mean, they would be making a ton of money by doing that. So, and the reason why I read that article or that section from the Digital Bits is because it proves that studios understand that they're making a lot of money licensing out their deeper catalog releases to these boutique studios. Sony, of course, isn't a boutique studio, but it just shows the environment we're in right now, where that's what studios are doing, is licensing out their catalog release. John Pimmel, real quick, says, "We all wish we could be measured, cool, and as competent as Bill in Digital Bits." Yeah, I mean, he's awesome. I love Bill. He's extremely knowledgeable. Like I said before I got into this, he doesn't have a knee-jerk reaction and just post something from a rumor he hears. He makes sure that he confirms it from the studios before he posts it. Let's see here. Is it Tiger Blue?
That's so
Tiger
true.
Blue, welcome. It says Disney haven't been making any decisions for the past few years that make financial sense. They are now, aren't they? Yeah, I mean, it takes time, guys. It takes time. I mean, Bob Chapek, he basically was running Disney into the ground, which is why Bob Iger stepped back in as CEO. I mean, look at the mess he left behind. He left a mess. Employees that were fired left and right, hiring employees that don't know what they're doing. I mean, Disney was in shambles. And so it takes time to get back on track. And this is one thing they're doing to get back on track. And it's a very, very smart move on Bob Iger's part.
I would say too, you get more money if you license things out than just a subscription price. There's only so many subscribers that you can have.
Exactly. And then you have subscriber base on top of people who still buy physical media. I mean, it's a win-win. I mean, so a very, very good decision. And so people have to understand Bob Iger wasn't CEO for 3 years, almost 4 years. and
Yeah.
Disney was in shambles during that time. So it takes time to rebuild Disney back to where it needs to be. And they're making smart decisions. John was telling me they're making smart decisions and making smart moves, trying to get back on track. And so I've heard random people tell me that Disney hates physical media, that studios hate physical media. It's not true. They don't hate physical media. Right now, they just they don't have anybody who knows what they're doing in the home media
Right.
department. It's basically a dead zone. So, yeah, so they're licensing out their stuff to Sony to master, and that's one thing too is that John told me that they're actually going to be mastering the movies. So that's one thing that's not brought out in articles that I've seen is they're just talking about distribute and authorizing. Well, Sony is actually going to be mastering and restoring films. So this is great
I'm
news.
excited to see what happens. I mean, we could get some cool box sets out of this. I'm hoping.
Well, that's the thing. That's what I see Sony doing is doing something like, excuse me, I'm dying. Releasing something like the Columbia Classic sets. And I can see them definitely doing that with Disney films, having a box set like this with like 4 or 5 classic Disney movies. And later on Fox. I think they're going to focus on Disney first and then kind of go into Fox. That's just my assumption, but I don't know. But yeah, I think it's great news. What are your thoughts on that?
Pretty much the same. I'm pretty optimistic about this deal. Excited to get a lot of movies that aren't on 4K or not on Blu-ray that they might see the light of day. Also excited for the potential of like the streaming stuff coming to physical media, and then the newer titles that are going to be out theatrically have like a solid release. Because I know some of the Marvel stuff of late. Now the movies aren't as good,
Yeah.
but the special features are bare bone. So I'm curious what they're gonna do as far as special features too.
Yeah.
And is this going to be steel books? Is this going to be regular editions? I'm curious what they're going to do. There's a lot of possibilities. Yeah, the black hole. The black hole would be amazing to get on a steel book in a 4K UHD. That movie is so visual, especially the ending. I saw it in theaters recently, probably like a couple of years ago, and I just thought it was on like an acid trip. But I think that would be amazing to see in 4K. And I got some titles here that we can talk about later that I have like a wish list of stuff that I already own that I would love to see upgraded. But yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm excited about this deal, and there's a lot of misinformation out there. Unfortunately, that's just like Catfish Hunter said. That's the world we live in.
Yeah, exactly. And when this news broke from Bill to Digital Bits, I'm even Variety that is known to. I mean, it's an insider magazine, I guess you would call it, or outlet, and yet they weren't reporting the whole thing. They were just reporting parts of it. And that's why I always tell people always go to the source. Don't just read the headline because you're not going to get anything from the headline. You're going to see a headline saying Disney ditches physical media or Disney ruins physical media forever, and you're thinking, what? Why is Disney doing this? And you get pissed off. Read the article before you
Right.
instead of just the headline, and go to the source. Go to the Digital Bits. Let's see here. There's a comment here from Jace. I'm sorry, I can't read his last name. Thanks for joining us tonight, Jace. It says, if only we could get Apple to release some of its movies like Greyhound on Disc 2. I really don't like streaming. Yeah, I agree, man.
Or Coda.
Coda, man. That is that one best
Best
picture, best in first time in history, 2 deaf actors won best actor, best actress. It won best picture, best director, and no one's freaking talking about it. And I think one reason why no one's talking about it is because it's exclusive to Apple and not everyone has an Apple TV. And because I have friends that want to see the movie and they keep asking me, where's it out? Where can I see it? Apple. I don't want to sign up for Apple.
Yeah.
And the only place that had a physical release is from Italy, and that's out of print now. And so I mean, I really hope they do. I hope, especially something like Coda that won Best Picture.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
you would
even their
think,
TV stuff would be nice to have, like Severance. I'd love to have Severance.
yeah, Severance would be awesome. I think I mean, I can see their point of view. They want to keep that for their subscriber base. You know, if you want to see the show, you have to subscribe.
What's
And they're not
interesting
bad.
though is like For All Mankind, didn't that get like an international release?
It did get a Blu-ray release. Actually, Sony sent me a
Oh, okay,
release.
perfect.
Yeah, so it's coming out very slowly though. And excuse me, I think that the only reason that got a release is because Sony produced it. It's not an Apple produced show. Um, but yeah, Foundation would be cool too. I still haven't finished season 1, John, of Foundation. I got to finish season 1. Um, yeah, I mean, after coughing, I lost my train of thought here. Um, Anyways, yeah, let's see what this comment says. Tiger Blue. Dan has Conan, Pulp Fiction, and Empire Strikes Back posted behind him. You have good taste, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, Conan
And Star Trek.
and Star Trek and the Columbia Classics and yeah. Now you got that box set, right? Of
Not the
Conan.
new one.
Huh?
Not the new one.
No, Conan the box set.
Oh yeah, the Conan
Yeah.
Chronicles. Yes.
Yeah. You know that's out of print now.
Are you
Can't get
serious?
it. You can't get it anymore. The only way you can get it is buying the 2 separate releases.
It's funny because when I ordered it, I checked a week later and like it had disappeared off of. I got it from Barnes and Noble, so I fortunately got it before people ordered on Amazon because there was like a delay. But it like disappeared from the website, and I thought that was strange. So I guess that makes sense that it's out of print now.
Yeah. The only way you can get it is the 2 separate releases, the standard releases. Let's see here. Yeah, so going back to the Disney Sony deal, it's nothing but good news.
I don't know if you can see the other comment on there about music.
Oh, Scotty. Hey Scott, thanks for joining us. Any music artists in the Sony Disney catalog? That I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know.
Now I'm thinking there could be some like concerts that were on DVD. Maybe they could upgrade. That'd be cool.
I mean, it
Or
sounds
something.
like they're primarily focusing on their movie catalog right now. Who knows what can happen in the future?
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know all the details in the contract. I'm sure they've got everything in there, watertight. That's a good question. I may ask John that tonight if that was part of the deal, having music. That's a good question. Yeah, so I don't see any negative negativity to this merger at all. None. I don't see.
Yeah, it's just
any.
part of the evolution of the business. I feel like, we're gonna have more boutique stuff coming out from bigger studios licensed out, and then, the Sony deal is great. They're a great company, and yeah, we're in good hands. I think
Oh
it's better
yeah,
than these titles just sitting in a shelf or in a vault somewhere.
yeah, exactly. Like I said, I mean, people don't realize that when studios just have their catalog just sitting around, not doing anything with it, they're really hemorrhaging money. They're losing money, and so it just doesn't make sense for especially with as Disney is huge. I mean, you have movies from what the 50s, Pollyanna, Old Yeller, all these classic films that people want to own, and so it's not it's a great decision. See, Jay says, does Cameron's decision to release some of his movies driven that decision? Seems he leads others to follow. I mean, honestly, he had nothing to do with it. I mean, like I said, this merger was happening almost 3 years ago. Is when this merger started. So I don't think so. Cameron's Lightstorm Entertainment is actually the one that's distributing. Actually, did Cameron's The Abyss, True Lies, Aliens, and stuff. They're the ones that did it all, the restoration work and mastering and all that stuff. And it's just going to be who's Disney, I guess, who's distributing it. So that's the thing too, is that that's the difference between a distribution and actually mastering the product. You know, here, Disney, can you send this out? Sure, I can send this out. Here, $25, you can have it. That's distribution. That's all it is. Is you're just giving your product to a bigger business that can afford to distribute it widely and put it out in the market. That's all it is. But Lightstorm and Peter Jackson's studio is who mastered it and restored the films. John Pimmel says, last weekend's double feature, Stripes and Groundhog Day, made the Sony Disney news really that much more what I want to see. Stripes, Groundhog Day are reference quality,
Yes.
everything. 100%.
Yes. Yeah, Stripes is amazing.
Oh, I couldn't believe Stripes. I mean, I haven't seen that movie in probably 20, 25 years. And then when it came out with the Columbia box set, I think it was volume 3, right?
Volume 2.
Oh, was it volume 2? Yeah, I was my mouth was
I bought
on the
it
floor.
Separate on eBay.
Oh, did you?
Because
Yeah,
I love the movie.
Yeah, my mouth was on the floor. I was in awe over how incredible that film looks. And like I said, I keep saying, I'll keep saying it. If you want to know how great Sony does their work, just check out anything from any one of the Columbia Classics sets. I watched Sleepless in Seattle the other night. Sleepless in Seattle. You wouldn't think it'd be that big of a deal, right? I mean, someone would think, hey, you can just upsample that. No big deal. It's just a silly little comedy. No, it looks incredible.
Really?
I mean,
Okay.
It
Good to
looks
know.
fantastic.
I saw the typical complaints about it being too dark. So,
I hate those complaints. Those complaints are just people who don't have their settings on their TV set right. or they don't know what they're looking at. I mean, yeah, HDR can slightly darken an image. I know that. But you also have to understand there's a lot of reasons why they use it to darken the image, because a darker image draws out a lot more information and detail and colors in the image. It makes it more lifelike. Caveman Movies says here, hey there everyone, please hit the like button. Yes, hit the like button. I always forget to say that, hit the like button. I don't know. I always feel kind of awkward asking people, hit the like button, subscribe, or bust out your wallets and send me a tip. You know,
open your pocketbooks up.
Yeah.
Pull checkbooks out.
I always feel uncomfortable doing that, because I'm thinking, if you like my content, it'll speak for itself. But I appreciate that, Caveman. Yeah, guys, hit that like button, please. It does help boost the algorithm. Yeah, I mean, without repeating myself over and over again, it's a great deal. I don't see anything negative about the deal whatsoever. I think like I said earlier, when you mentioned about TV shows like Disney Plus shows or Hulu shows, I do think they're going to cherry pick what they want to do, especially with Marvel and Star Wars stuff like they're doing. Let's see, Timmy says, Return of the Disc is winning Best Picture on my TV screen.
Thanks, man. I've got a stack here of like wish list ones. I'll go through them real quick.
Oh,
so
yeah.
you think.
Yeah, let's go through some wish lists of what and guys, everyone in the comment section, leave your comments. Let us know what your wish list is. What do you want to see from Disney or Fox titles with this Sony Disney merger? Let us know in the comments. Be part of the conversation.
I'd love to see a new restoration of Commando.
Oh, that'd be nice.
I don't have the Blu-ray, but I would love to see that. My Cousin Vinny is another one. The comedy, I think that's really good on a 4K.
Yeah.
Next one could be really good. Tom Hanks in Castaway. I think this would be visually stunning.
Oh, that
needs... I think it's a must. They have to put this one out, right?
You would think so. I mean, that needs a new master.
Another one, Alexander Payne's Sideways. I think it'd be great.
Yeah.
Of course, you could do a comedy set or something, Say Anything, another comedy, Cameron Crowe. It'd be great. The Sandlot, Killing Me Smalls, in 4K. It'd be great.
Yeah, Sandlot is huge. People love that movie.
Yeah, The Rocketeer. I think that would sell well.
Ooh, that would be awesome on 4K.
Of course, Fight Club.
Now, Fight Club's kind of touchy, but
And then I threw Good Morning Vietnam in there because I was
that
talking
would
about
be
it
a
last
good one
night a
too.
little bit. It's another great comedy.
Yeah, I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. Imran. He says the 13th Warrior in 4K is one of my favorites. 13th Warrior would be cool in 4K, definitely. John Pimmel, let me see here. Let me scroll up here. John Pimmel says, I'll trade all my Columbia House discs for 4K Black Hole. The Black Hole is that hill I rally for. I'd sell my mother's organs for a 4K Atmos of Black Hole. Going down the Black Hole. It's a good movie. I mean, it's definitely not for everyone. I'll say that, but it's I've always liked it. I think that would look amazing in 4K as well. Hey, Basement Blues. Thanks, Tony, for joining us. It's good to see you. Let's see. Brent Madison says, what do you think of Big Top Pee-wee getting 4K from TerraVision later
Oh,
this year?
that's amazing.
Dude, I was surprised. I was shocked that that he got licensing for Big Top Pee-wee from TerraVision of all places. I mean, you would think maybe Kino Lorber, Shout Factory, but TerraVision, they primarily deal with horror.
Yeah, they launched a new label under the TerraVision company for those releases. So I'm excited about that. I mean, they might as well, if nobody's claiming it, might as well go for it. I mean, it gives you exposure as a small label up and coming. So great move.
Yeah, great exposure. Now we just need Pee-wee's Big Adventure. I'm honestly not a huge fan of Big Top Pee-wee, but Pee-wee's Big Adventure, I need that in 4K. Please, Warner Brothers. Let's go through a couple more comments here. Jace says, Terminator is a must. I'd love to see Alien movies in 4K the day after tomorrow. Excuse me. Terminator is coming. Lightstorm Entertainment is working on Terminator as we speak. I have a couple of friends that's working on Lightstorm movies. They worked on The Abyss, True Lies, and they're starting work on Terminator. And most importantly, they're working on a new master of Terminator 2, which is going to be great because that 4K release from Studio Canal was warm doggy poop on a hot sunny day. Day after tomorrow would be cool too. We're getting Aliens, Alien 3 and 4. I'm not sure. I'm sure those are going to come. I mean, if Aliens, I'm sure 3 and 4 will come. And the day after tomorrow is pretty good. I like that. Tiger Blue says, does this include Touchstone movies? Yes. Anything from the Disney catalog. It's going to be Hollywood Pictures, Touchstone Pictures, Disney, and then all Fox stuff. It includes it all. And like I said, that's something that a lot of outlets aren't reporting on. But John, the producer that I was talking to that was involved in the merger, he alluded to that.
Everybody, welcome to the party. Everybody's dropping in now in the comments and saying hello to each other. It's great.
Yeah, this is awesome. Thanks, guys, for all the comments. John Pimmel says, Brad Henderson at TerraVision, what a tremendous person, pushing quality home movie access forward. Love Brad. Yeah, I've been trying to get him on the show. He was supposed to come on the show a few months ago, but things happened and just didn't pan out. So I'm planning on trying to have him on the show soon. So hopefully I get him on the show. Yeah, that'd be great to talk to him. Also, Jesse from Diabolic DVD, I've been trying to get him on the show. Tiger Blue says, yep, I don't even hear the DVD of 13th Warrior. I really want that one too. Or have the DVD. Yeah, the DVD, I think is out of print now, and it was a really bad transfer. Della Movies, what's up, man? What's going on? Let's see here. Hey, everyone's saying hey. Hey, guys, thanks so much for joining us tonight.
Saying. Everybody's jumping
on
in
the chat. This is awesome. I love the community here and everyone joining in. Brent Madison says, the Stakeout 87 even have a Blu-ray? That would be nice. Yes, it does have a Blu-ray. It's a really old Blu-ray, though. Actually, no, wait. I think, didn't a boutique company... I'm thinking maybe Mill Creek or somebody released that on Blu-ray. I know it got a Blu-ray release from a boutique company. I can't think of the top of my head, though. Jace?
Oh, yeah. Dances with Wolves.
Holy crap. Yeah. I've been holding out for that for so long. And I'm hearing I mean, I hear it has a 4K master out there. And Warner Brothers owns it. They put that poll out, a couple months ago, a month or so ago, about
Yeah.
what do you people want to see in 4K? And Dances with Wolves was on there, and it got high marks. So I think Warner is going to release Dances with Wolves in 4K soon, maybe to coincide with Costner's new
Horizons.
new Western epic. That would be absolutely gorgeous in 4K, especially if they do it right. Tiger Blue, they can keep Alien 3. The start completely ruins the legacy of Alien, so I'll never watch Alien 3 ever again. Alien 4 wasn't that great either, to be honest. The only good ones was Alien and Aliens. And you can
I love Alien versus Predator, guys.
Alien versus Predator is fun. Alien versus Predator Requiem.
That's classic.
That was the classic. And you can battle it out all day long about which one's better, Alien or Aliens. Della Movies, can't wait for the Terminator 4K. Yeah, it's coming. It's probably going to be. I mean, they're working on the restoration, guys, and to do it right, it takes a good year to do a restoration. So we're probably not going to see it until the end of 2024 or in 2025.
Yeah, Tiger Blue. The steelbook came with both cuts.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I have. That's the one that was released by Shout, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think they're 4K remasters though.
No, they're not.
No.
I'm hoping Shout Factory. I mean, their recent stuff they've gotten from Warner Brothers looks incredible. I'm hoping. Nice if Shout Factory gives it a nice 4K release. I have the old one, the one before Shout Factory that was released by MGM. I mean, it's okay, but it includes the extended cut. I mean, that's the cut you want to see, right? You don't want to see the theatrical. Yeah. So Tiger Blue, thanks for that comment. Let me know, guys. What else are you looking forward to? Your wish list. I'm trying to think off the top of my head.
Do you have any?
That's what I'm trying to think.
You want that haven't been mentioned?
I mean, Fight Club desperately needs a new master. I watched it the other day, and it does not hold up to modern stuff. And the only problem with Fight Club is Fox and Disney. If they had their way, they would never release that movie. I mean, just to give just a little bit of background of that movie, if you weren't there when that movie came out, you wouldn't know what a colossal bomb it was. I think it only lasted a week in the theaters, and it was pulled. The executive that greenlit that movie was immediately fired because she greenlit the movie. Fox.
Yeah, that's right, Basement. We can't talk about Fight Club.
I'll talk about Fight Club all day long. It was a huge bomb. And what's funny is Simon and I, my brother Simon, we saw it opening weekend. We saw it 3 times opening weekend. I just love that movie. I thought that movie was just absolutely captivating. I love that movie to death. And I remember when it was a huge bomb and everyone panned it, and Fox was trying to sweep it under the rug that it never got made. I remember saying to Simon, this is going to be like a Clockwork Orange. In 20 years, it's going to be a huge hit. People are going to revisit it, and they're going to love it. Because Cuckoo's Nest was a huge flop as well for Warner Brothers at the time. Because dealing with that subject matter is really touchy. See, Tim says Castaway's epic as well as the music in it. Oh, Alan Silvestri's score in Castaway is fantastic.
So good.
I love that movie. That needs a 4K. Master and Commander. I want Master and Commander in 4K. That would be absolutely insane in 4K, especially if they redo the audio in Dolby Atmos. I mean, there's a reason why that won for best sound design. I mean, it just sounds incredible. Caveman Movies and More says, I'm really excited to get to see The Last Castle in 4K. Glad it will get some attention finally or again. Yeah, Last Castle was pretty good. One of those movies that time forgot. People don't remember that movie. I saw it in the theater, and then I saw it when it came out on DVD. It's a good movie. James Gandolfino, isn't it?
Yeah, Robert Redford.
Yeah, kind of one of those movies that slipped through the cracks. trying to think of some other Fox titles. I don't know. I mean, there's so many. There's just so many. Let me dive in here real quick and show a little bit of this
Let's
Columbia
see it.
Classics box set. I've had a, if I don't die from coughing, I've had a few of you guys ask about this, so I'm going to show it. I'm going to close the chat here real quick. Well, I'm going to see if I can full screen this here. Not you. I don't want you full screen.
Hey.
There we go. I'll do full screen here. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. So this is the Columbia Classics Volume 4 box set. Again, this box set is just awesome. They always include 6 movies. And what's cool about these box set is they always start out from movies from like the 1930s, 1940s, and then they go up for each year. So like we have His Girl Friday, then Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, Kramer versus Kramer from the 70s, Starman from the 80s, Sleepless in Seattle from the 90s, Punch Drunk Glove from the 2000s. And they always, I'll just run through this here real quick. Let me show Starman here. And they always come with these really nice slip covers, if it's in focus. And then they really do a lot of work on their stuff.
And that came with a TV show too, right?
That's the thing too, what was awesome, what I was really surprised about, and one reason why I grabbed this set is because it comes with a Starman TV show from back in the day, the 80s. It only lasted 1 season, like 22 episodes. And I thought it was just going to be poured over to a Blu-ray. Like they're not going to, well, why are they going to give that attention? It was a show that only lasted 1 season. Everyone's forgotten about it. And then I opened up the set, and no, it's been remastered in 4K. I don't know if it's out of focus or not, but it's been remastered in freaking 4K, guys. I was blown away that Sony remastered this little TV show in 4K.
Have you had a chance to watch it?
I have, and it looks incredible. It looks fantastic. I mean, it's really grainy because of back in the day, but it's really, really good looking. And again, the fact that they put this TV show on 4K, went that extra mile, proves that Sony loves physical media and that they're going to do great work with it. What's really cool about these box sets, too, is that they come with this coffee table book. And it goes in and has production stills and talks all about the making of the movie. And so it makes a real great companion piece when you're watching the films. So yeah, these sets are awesome. And if they're going to be doing this kind of stuff for Disney films,
can't even imagine. Heck yeah.
It's going to be amazing. And it's going to, and we're all going to need to take on more jobs to pay for it. Because that's going to break our bank accounts, right? Because these sets aren't cheap.
We'll do those pay in 4 payments things, those deals.
Yeah, because these box sets are like between 120 to 180 bucks, and they go down, but they also sell out quickly. Like they go out of print quickly. Let's scroll up here. Let's see here.
Simon Barbarian 4K would be nice. Adele on the movies. I mean, that didn't even get a physical copy. No,
not yet. Caveman says, where did you get your copy from of Volume 4? I ordered it from Grindhouse Video. They had it for like $160 when I bought it, and 2-day shipping.
That's a great price.
Yeah, I think everyone else had it for like $180. Simon says, Amazon. Okay. Amazon Women from the Moon. Brett says the original Planet of the Apes would be nice to see in 4K. Yeah, definitely. And we were talking about that last night. That would be awesome to see a full box set. I know they remastered the first one in 4K, but they just had it on Blu-ray. So that'd be nice to see too. Like a legit
that'd be amazing
4K box set, especially with the newer ones coming out.
And if they threw in the TV show, that'd be crazy. But I doubt it.
Who knows, man? I mean, I would never have thought they would have included a TV show to start.
That's very true.
Excuse me. Tiger Blue says Kramer versus Kramer and Starman were great. Haven't seen them in a very long time. Yeah, I'm going to be watching Kramer versus Kramer and this weekend. I can't wait to check that one out. I watched Starman and Sleepless in Seattle last week, and they amazing. I mean, just incredible. And I'm going to be doing a 4K versus Blu-ray comparison of Starman between the Shout Factory Starman Blu-ray, and this new 4K. Dell Movies Barbarian 4K. I mean, they keep hinting at they're going to get a physical release for Barbarian. I mean, I wasn't the biggest fan of that movie, but I think it deserves a physical release for sure.
It definitely does.
John Pemmel says the Columbia Classics adds 6 movies with nothing in common, but you'll be a day one buyer anyways. Absolutely. I do like that they go down by decade instead of just randomly putting in stuff. I kind of like that they go decade, like the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. I like that. That's cool. Caveman says, I heard Deep Discount DVD had a better price. I don't know. I always forget to check Deep Discount. But yeah, I mean, wherever you can find it cheap, buy it, get it. Caveman also says, I subscribed. Sorry, I thought I already was. To the channel? Oh, no problem, man. No problem. I'm happy that you're here. Thanks for subscribing. Return of the Disc says, thanks everyone for showing up. Hit the like button and subscribe button. Return of the Disc. Who is that guy? What a weirdo.
I don't know.
Let's see here. Timmy
Must be a
says,
troll.
talking about poop on a hot summer day. Wait, you're talking about Dan? No, he's cool.
Hey, you know.
If you guys don't know, Tim and Dan are friends. So
Let's take this outside. There's Roadhouse coming out, so let's do Roadhouse 3. Catfish Hunter versus Return of the Disc.
I mean, what do you think about that Roadhouse movie?
I don't think it looks very good, but the first one wasn't great, but it was fun. You know what I mean? This could be fun, but I'm a little worried because it's streaming, and there's a lot of controversy behind that.
The fact that they, to me, it tells me that they know that the movie sucks because they didn't put it in theaters, and they're refusing to put it in theaters. So that's a red flag to me that they know this movie's not good. This movie's not good. And probably one of the only reasons I got Jake Gyllenhaal in it is for some star power to get people to watch it. Otherwise, it would probably just be a little, obscure remake that no one would see.
He's in crazy shape, and he looks like he committed to the role. So I don't know. I mean, it seems like he's all in.
I'm sure he's going to be great in it, but if the movie itself is good, that's another question.
Yeah.
Ernesto, hey, excuse me. Excuse me. Hey Ernesto, thanks for joining.
What's up, EJ?
Do you think that 4K sometimes ruins the film experience you had with the original? Okay, here we go. Here we go. If you guys have been following me for any amount of time, I've talked about this in depth. And Dan, I think you would agree with this too. For a number of years, ever since home media began, what we had to watch on home media was on CRT TVs, analog. And for movies to look good on home media, studios had to go in and change the color scheme, change color tones, change the aspect ratio, change sometimes the entire look of the film. So if you've been watching your favorite film since you were a kid until the 4K comes out, that's the color and look you're used to, right? And so when a 4K comes out that has a different color scheme, your knee-jerk reaction is saying, what the hell did they do? They screwed this up. Why did they screw up this movie? This isn't how it's supposed to look.
I think what EJ is talking about, because he's one of my close friends, I think he means like if you're seeing it in theaters, whereas nowadays you're seeing a picture that's like been cleaned up and made to look, more like it's shot yesterday.
Okay.
Does that ruin like your first experience of seeing it in theaters projected on film? I think that's what he's mentioning.
Okay. Let me go ahead and finish this since I'm already talking about it.
But I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah. So in actuality and honestly, what you've been used to is wrong. And now when they're restoring it on 4K, because we have digital equipment and all the modernized equipment, they actually bring in the director or the DP, the director of photography, to bring the movie back to its original theatrical state, or as close as possible to theatrical state, based on the original negative and how the director wanted you to see it. So that's why sometimes you might think that a 4K looks different, or why did they change the color from what you're used to. But Ernesto, can I call him EJ? What's his name?
EJ.
E,
And shout out to EJ too. Happy birthday tomorrow, EJ. Yeah, thanks for the comment.
so to answer your question, I mean, the only way it would ruin. Okay, EJ's fine. Is that okay? Whatever. I don't know. So to answer your question, the only way it would ruin it is if studios went in and did clean up the image, where they really smoothed it out for no reason, and you get this waxy look like they did on the Terminator 2 4K release. That's when they would release it. I mean, that's when they would ruin it for me. But I mean, it's always going to look different than projected. Between projecting and your home viewing, it's always going to look different. So no, it doesn't really ruin it for me. Dell on Movies says Summer of Soul is another Fox property and won Oscar for Best Documentary a couple years ago, but only got a DVD release. At least get us a Blu-ray, right? Yeah, and that's a great documentary. I saw that after it won Best Doc, and yeah, I was surprised it didn't get a Blu-ray release, only a DVD. I thought that was really surprising.
I'm just surprised that DVD was never taken over by Blu-ray. They just like never went away. It's still like top seller. And
yeah, when you look at the charts, DVD is still number one, which is insane to me. I mean,
and it's not high definition.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Is that DVD is still NTSC. It's still analog. It's not even digital. Caveman says it would be nice to see a lot of Touchstone movies like The Rock in 4K. Yeah, The Rock, Con Air. Even movies like Pretty Woman, Good Morning Vietnam, like you showed, would be great in 4K. I mean, there's so many great films that can be brought on 4K that I would love to see. Tiger Blue, DNR. People like to throw that word around, don't they, Dan?
Yeah.
DNR scrubbing. It's kind of like their go-to word that they use when they really don't fully understand why it's used or what it really means, which kind of irks me. But yeah, I mean, like, and I'm gonna get more on this in my Footloose review, because I'm gonna do a comparison between Footloose and the Blu-ray. But a lot of 80s movies used a lot of soft focus. Some movies, way more than others. And so when you see a movie in 4K with a high resolution, it's a lot more noticeable with the softer focus. And I think that is what people are confusing DNR scrubbing with, is a soft focus. Because soft focus does make it look smooth. With a high resolution, it's going to look even more noticeable. And so I think sometimes that's what people are confusing the two with. See, Caveman says, Dan, I subscribe to you as well. Awesome.
Hey, thanks a lot, Caveman. Appreciate it.
Dan does a lot of reviews, especially for like kind of older movies. He does some good work over there on his YouTube channel. Definitely everyone subscribe to him. Tiger Blue, sorry to hurt you, Paul. Did you hurt me? I didn't know you hurt me, but if you think you hurt me, it's okay. No problem. You didn't hurt my feelings. I'm a big boy. No, it's cool, Tiger Blue. When people point out things like that, DNR, or point out about color changes, I always like to bring out the reasons why you hear people complain about these things and why studios do these things. Because it's good to know the knowledge about what you're seeing, understand what you're looking at, instead of just chalking up to having a knee-jerk reaction saying it's a crappy 4K. Caveman says, I think it's bad when they remove the grain. It depends, though. Because I've seen some movies that just through generational wear and tear has a lot of chalky grain that wasn't supposed to be there. So sometimes when you kind of clean it up, it does look better. The problem is when you clean it up, you kind of have to do the whole frame. You can't just do parts. And that's kind of what messes it up.
Yeah, I think it depends on the condition of the print.
Yeah.
You sent me a video from 1990 where Ebert and Siskel were talking about the future of movies, and there was a segment in there where Spielberg was like talking about how bad the Jaws print was.
Oh, yeah.
And I have it on 4K, and it looks amazing. So I mean, yeah, it just depends on how the condition of the print and the restoration process.
And honestly, to be frankly honest, every movie has a little bit of DNR scrubbing to it. Every movie does. Um, some a lot more noticeable than others, but every movie has a little bit. Um, so you're never going to get away from it, but it just depends on how drastic they use it. Um, let's see. Basement Blue says, "I sub to you, also Dan. Awesome,
Thank you, Basement.
Tony. Tony's a good guy. He's a cool guy." Dell on movie says, "Probably spitting in the wind, but I'm holding out hope for OG theatrical cuts. That will never happen." George Lucas, he put that in his contract that those films the original Star Wars movies will never see the light of day. And so that's never going to happen. Because Lucas still owns the rights to the movies.
Yeah.
Disney just has distribution rights, so it's his call, and he doesn't want the OG Star Wars movies to see the light of day ever again. Tiger says, "You said something DNR hurts you." Just joking. Okay, I don't remember, Tiger. Sorry. But yeah, irks me is what I said. That when people talk about DNR, it irks me. Meaning that I kind of get a little upset when people just chalk things up to DNR and just kind of loosely using that terminology without understanding what it really means. But no problem, Tiger. Ernesto says, "I'm sure there are a lot of vaulted movies that have been stored away because of decay to neglect from studios' improper storage. Do you think AI will help these studios bring back these films to 4K?" And that's something that Siskel and Ebert video that I should... Guys, if you haven't seen it, check out Siskel and Ebert's Future of Movies on YouTube. It was back in 1990. It's incredible, some of the stuff that they predicted that came true.
Yeah.
And stuff that it was happening in 1990 is still happening today, where Steven Spielberg brings out that studios are not caring about preserving their films. And they need to. And it hasn't changed. Studios still don't seem to care. So yeah, that tends to happen, is that a lot of studios just stick these old movies away, classic movies, and forget about them and move forward. And now AI technology, I know a lot of people are afraid of that being used. I mean, I personally don't like AI. However, James Cameron, he used AI partially. A lot of people think that he used AI for the entire restoration. That's not true, because, like I said, I have a couple friends that worked on the restoration. They did the restoration work themselves from the original negative, but what they used AI for is to ensure color correctness, to ensure accuracy. And so that's what they used AI for those releases. Studios get lazy. Major studios get lazy. And I can see like Warner Brothers, Paramount kind of saying, you know what? Let's just use AI. It'll be cheaper. Type in all the stuff you need to do with it, and AI will take care of it.
I think AI is a tool that can be used usefully, and then, like, of course, it can be abused like any tool and overdone. So we're going to see a lot of that on both sides. The Aliens restoration, I mean, it looks a little weird to me, but we'll see how it is on disc, right?
Well, that's the thing too, is like a lot of people were seeing what it looked like on streaming, True Lies and the Abyss and stuff. You cannot gauge what it's going to look like from streaming onto disc, because it's like you notice that yourself with Past Lives.
Yes.
And so a lot of times it looks much better on disc than it does on streaming, because they do manipulate the image for streaming. So I don't think it's going to look, I mean, I'm sure it's going to have some smoothness, but I don't think it's going to look as bad as the streaming. Tiger Blue says, I have Jaws 4K, fantastic watch. That's an incredible 4K. Absolutely incredible. John says, I'm pretty sure Blue Underground never heard of DNR. Well, not really. Yeah, some of their movies are like really heavy grainy.
But they put out some great stuff though.
Oh yeah, I mean they're putting out shoot, what was it called? They announced a new release today that I can't wait for. I can forget what it's called. Tiger Blue says, I misheard. Sorry, it's late for me. Oh wow, you're up late. Thanks for joining us though. That's awesome. No worries, man. Hey Manny, what's going on? Haven't seen you in a while. Thanks for joining. He says, I can't wait for True Lies in 4K. Yeah. There's a lot of controversy with that True Lies 4K, and I have some insider information on that too, but I'm not going to share it tonight. Death Dream, that's right. That's what it is, John. Death Dream. Can't wait for that. Simon says, also depends on your TV settings. Absolutely. And Mr. Caveman says, hi everyone. I just subbed to you both. Hey Tony, Dell,
I
Tiger.
believe it was Miss Caveman.
Oh, Miss
So
Caveman.
thank you, Miss Caveman.
Are you related to Caveman movies? Thanks, man. That's awesome. Basement Blues. Hi, Kate. Hi, Miss Caveman. Tiger. Miss Caveman. Hello, Miss Caveman. Yeah, guys. This has been awesome.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to wrap it up. I'm starting to cough a little bit more. I need to go rest. I'm still getting over bronchitis. But yeah, join me Sunday with... hold on a second. Got to pull up the picture again. Join me... hold on. Sorry, guys. Just a second. Join me this upcoming Sunday as my friend Eric from MVD, Head of Accusations, and he's an indie film producer, is going to join me on Physical Media Coast to Coast, episode 4, Sunday night, 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 Eastern. That's going to be a great show. He's a cool guy. He loves physical media just as much as we do, and he has a lot of... I'm really curious, since he works in home media, I'm really curious on his thoughts on this Disney Sony deal and other things that are going on, and talk about physical media. So that's going to be a great stream, guys. So definitely keep an eye out for that. Again, it's Sunday evening at 7 p.m. Central Time. One more comment. Tiger Blue says, at Caveman, my fairy godmother gave me an extension for this stream. All right. Well, guys, thanks so much for joining us. It's been fun.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dan, for joining us. Tell the people where to find you at if they don't know.
Return the Disc on YouTube.
And are you on social media?
Pretty simple. I have a Twitter at Return of the Disc, at Return of the Disc on Instagram as well, if you'd like. But I'm mostly active on YouTube.
All right, guys. Yeah, definitely go subscribe to Dan. He has some great content. All right, guys, we're going to sign out. As always, thanks for watching. Keep physical media alive, and share this stream with those that love physical media that weren't able to catch it. All right, guys, we're out of here.
Have a good night.